We got a nice rainy day here, so I'm gonna build some arrows. These arrows are the Easton Sonic 6mm. We're gonna build these pretty light. They're also relatively cheap arrows, so I don't mind losing these compared to my Easton Axis arrow builds, which are like $19 to $20 an arrow. These are gonna be pretty cheap. I'm just gonna use the inserts that come with them. I bought a dozen arrows for 125 bucks, and I'm gonna use some, I guess this is probably like $8 inserts with some vanes I already have. These are the AE hybrid vanes. I think they steer pretty well, and I think they'll look really good on these Sonics, so we're gonna use those because I already have them. So yeah, it's gonna keep this cheap. I guess that would be what, you know, $150 for 12 arrows that are decent quality. Never gonna have broadheads on them or anything like that. Normally I get these pre-cut by like Lancaster, or either I get these pre-cut by like Lancaster or wherever I buy them from, but we bought these full length to save some money. Again, trying to build these as cheap as I can, so that if I send one into a tree or launch one behind a sheep, it doesn't hurt so bad. So we're gonna square the end of these on a squaring tool. This is the, I guess it's called what? The Fast tool, Fletched Arrow Squaring Tool by Luminoc. And then once we've done the end, we're gonna take a Q-tip and clean out the end of the insert just so that our glue adheres better. So you can see all the mess that comes out of that. Pretty good. Do two-sided on each one of these. Just make sure that our insert seals well, so that's a little bit cleaner. And then we're going to put these to the side when they're done so that they can get an insert. Alright, so we got all those cleaned out and the ends all squared. Put that away for now. We're going to do something different in this video. In the past, we always, let's see if I can get into this. In the past, we always weigh out each individual component and get a weight at the end and see what the tolerance is. Usually we can be within 4 grains of each other. I'm curious if I don't weigh anything out here and I just slap the inserts in, because again, this will never be for broadheads. I'm curious to see what kind of tolerance we come out to without doing any of the extra weighing of, you know, components. So we're just gonna slap these inserts in and see what the weight comes out to after we've done the insert and the field point, and the fletching, and see if you don't take any steps to make sure everything comes out the same, how close they can actually be. For this, I like the Loctite super glue. I've used this for years for inserts, and it works really well. I'm just gonna make sure that the insert wants to go in first, and then, you know, kind of glue these up real quick. All right, grab some paper towels so I can wipe the excess. Okay, got our inserts in. Those are all looking good. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna prep for doing the vanes. These veins don't require any primer pen, but because these arrows are still fresh from the factory, I am going to clean the back of each of them with an alcohol wipe, just to make sure they're clean. See what kind of debris. Not really much came off of the first one. Now, to fletch these bad boys, just like this easy fletch, it's been my favorite so far. We're gonna go with some helical to the left, 3 fletch to keep it a little bit light. Like I said, no broadhead, so we don't need the steering so much. And then the AEE Max Bond glue has done really well for me. But I guess we'll do these real quick. I should have, and I didn't, so that's on me. I should have oriented the nocks on all these so that they're the same. I'm gonna have it, just because I'm a nerd, have it to where the sonic is sticking out to where you could read it from the outside of the arrow. So I'm gonna make sure these are all aligned before I put them in there, just so that they're all the same. You're probably not supposed to use your teeth, but I don't care that much, so it'll be fine. But then you just kind of drop this in here until you find the slot for the knock to go in. All right, and then these do not require a primer pen, so we're just gonna throw the veins in here and get our glue out. And run a nice bead on each section here. Once that's done, get ready with our cap. Fold these up kind of nicely to get started, and then come down with the cap to put them in their place. Flip it up, and we're gonna let this sit for a minute. All right, see how that's on there. Pop the cap off, take this. And that's pretty gnarly looking there. That thing's gonna spin like crazy. Take a look. That's more than I expected, to be honest, but that's pretty cool looking. I'm curious to see how these fly, if they balloon really bad. I've never shot that much helical. Give it a shot, see what it does. So that's our first arrow. I'm gonna fletch the rest of these up. We'll do that on fast pace so you don't have to be bored watching that. All right, I'm on my last arrow, and you'll notice I'm missing some veins for this one. I'm gonna leave one of the arrows as a bare shaft so I can do my initial tuning. Usually, just because I like having arrows ready to go, after I've bare shaft tuned, that'll get fletching of its own, but at least to get us started through paper, it's going to get no veins on it. So let's do this last arrow here. Well, that sets. We're gonna open up our points. For these are just the gold tip premium points. I went with 85 grains. We'll see if the spine can handle that, or if we need to go to 100 or 125s. But in order to keep it light, if possible, I want to use the 85s because I think that'll make them faster. Just a matter of whether or not it'll tune. So I'll get one of these put in each arrow. Forgot the one that was in the jig here. I was thinking to myself, they shorted me an arrow, but just wasn't paying attention. Now, I built this whole set of arrows without doing any type of weight measurements for all the individual components, which I normally do. So what I'm going to do now is get everything else out of the way, and I'm going to put these out, weigh them, rank them, and then see what the min and max is. So start with this guy, turn it on, get it to balance, zero it first, hold on. $333.6. $334.2. So we're within 2 grains on all these arrows, and I didn't do all the nonsense of weighing each insert, weighing each point, weighing each vein, and we still came to about 2 grains off. So I'd say you're getting marginal gains by doing all that just based on this one set of arrows. Now I'm sure there's different sets of arrows that have higher variation, and I noticed with using like 2 or 3 different kinds of broadheads, each broadhead has a different variance. So if you're going to put broadheads on them, I still recommend doing the individual components, but for some arrows that I'm just going to launch at long range and not necessarily care if I lose, that's still pretty good weight tolerance. Next step is we've got the arrows, we got the bow. We're going to go ahead and paper tune the bow and then start building a sight tape for it. I have the wrong sight on there, but I want to shoot, so we're going to get it set up and we'll switch out the sight whenever the new one comes in. But for now, that's my tack slash Raleigh area bow hunter slash long range arrow build for my Alpha X.